club statement that was faithfully reported here and elsewhere, saying board members could not attend due to a real and credible threat to their safety and security, and talk of the chief executive being put in a headlock at a previous game.
I suppose the vision between the board and the fans at the moment is you can't see that sort of being... It's broken.
Everton have been charged with an alleged breach of the Premier League's financial fair play rules. Now that follows a 10-month investigation.
Everton had lost £371.8 million over a 3-year period. And the Premier League's rules say that clubs are only allowed to lose a maximum of £105 million over 3 years.
Everton are one of those sides where people say, oh, it'll be a catastrophe, they're a massive side, I can't imagine them playing.
I'm not sure if they're
Championship
the
football.
massive is, I'm not sure about anymore, because when does that run out? I mean, the last time they won a bit of silverware was what, 94, 95 when they beat you all up?
And one of the main problems for Everton is, you know, they are a historical club in the Premier League. They've never gone down, and they have great history, and they're in this transitional phase right now with a chairman who's building a stadium, planning for the future. But what is the future?
The lack of athleticism in that Everton team is frightening.
Right to a huge blow for Everton now. The deal that would have seen New York-based MSP Sports Capital take a stake in the club is off.
Yeah, it is bad news this for the club, as the proposed funds were due to be directed towards completion of its new stadium at Bramley-Moore Dock. MSP Sports Capital had entered into an exclusivity deal with Everton owner Farhad Mashiri, which could have seen them take around 25% share in the club. But that deal has now expired. And talking on back pages tonight, The Telegraph's Jason Burt said that Everton's financial state is deeply concerning.
Now, clubs submit their accounts to the Premier League. The Premier League looks at those accounts, assesses them, and if they believe that there could be a potential problem, they refer it to a commission, and then it is for the commission to decide whether Premier League rules have been broken, and if they have been broken, then they will decide an appropriate punishment.
Finances in particular are becoming very, very overstretched, really. They are borrowing money from various different lenders and trying to balance the books and trying to sort of obviously make things work financially. And also they've got the backdrop of a looming hearing, an independent commission hearing into the financial fair play issues as well. It really looks from the outside as if Everton are sailing extremely close to the wind. And obviously a lot of this stems to Alisher Usmanov, Mashiri's business partner, obviously being sanctioned after the war in Ukraine. So I think that the financial side of Everton is a real deep worry.
In Premier League terms, what it basically means is before you can do anything, you have to justify the economic benefit to the football club. So if you're going to buy a player, you need to have sold one first. So they don't have the freeness to trade. Now, that's been going over the last 2 years. They've also got an ongoing argument about their accounts and their losses that were accumulated during the last 2 or 3 seasons during COVID, where they've got huge allowable adjustments because of the infrastructure of the stadium now being used to capitalise the balance sheet, and also COVID losses. And they've been able to sneak under financial fair play by the skin of their teeth.
Someone that isn't above anybody in the league right now, Everton. Oh,
it's
my
amazing.
God.
Do you know? Weirdly, I am fascinated by Everton. I don't know if this is a sort of morbid curiosity, but what's going on at that club? It's unreal.
How can Everton Football Club, within a couple of weeks it's a 6-pointer against Wolves already? I mean, it's dire straits. They've barely scored a goal. They've not even scored a goal. They've got their best player, which is Dwight McNeil, which says everything you need to know about Everton Football Club, injured. They have signed a kid, Beto, from Udinese for 25 million quid. Striker, could be able to add goals to their front line, but that's a big gamble. We're yet to see that. The performance this weekend, absolutely abysmal from Sean Dyche's side. And the way he was clapping the fans at the end of the game, I was looking at, I think, your time's up.
Right, that's massive. Wolves are all over the place, right? In terms of the ownership, in terms of a new manager, they are one of the most beatable teams around at the moment. It's the perfect fixture to play at home. There are some fixtures that are a gift, and the timing of that gift is even more impeccable. And Everton needed a victory.
The fan base will always be there through thick and thin. We know what they're like. We haven't played there, know exactly what they require. I mean, they don't want sophistication. They want someone to roll the sleeves up and leave everything on the pitch every single game. I don't think they're getting that, but that's due to recruitment. I think if they need to survive this year. That's all they need to do. I mean, it sounds stupid, but it's a club like Everton, and we've been saying it for far too many years now. Just need to survive. Just survive.
For me, what's going on in the background definitely has an effect on the pitch. There's too much noise in the background. The chairman, Bill, is like he's like a bad smell that just doesn't want to go away.
I'm not going to guarantee it'll be amazing football. What I will guarantee, you'll have a team that puts sweat on the shirt, because that part of the country, tough times, a bit about the history, real downtrodden at times plays, a bit down on its luck. If I was a fan, I thought I'd want to see people wear that shirt and give their lot.
And the difference is now the teams that are coming up are getting quite a bit better.
Well, if you look at Brentford, they're a great example.
Yeah, they're getting a bit better.
They're organised,
and
you
like
know what I mean?
said, they're getting a bit better, and Everton are now being found out. They can't just float in that mid area of the table that they usually do. I feel like
they did have their crack at trying to be ambitious, though. I mean, they were £50 million signing.
You can't really have a crack. You've either got to commit to it or not.
No. They didn't make a crack of it.
Sigurdsson.
I think they spent a fair bit with Ronald Koeman and the likes.
Spending money isn't the answer. The fact is, if you don't have philosophy in this modern game, you will find yourself drifting out of the league slowly, because people that are organised, like you look at a Brentford and a Brighton and what you can overachieve and create for that, because they've created two sustainable clubs who are building great players that are going to go on for a lot longer. And you look at someone like Everton, and even if you go pound for pound, you might look at the players and be like, Everton have a good team. There's no philosophy. It's a mishmash of ideas.
One of the main problems is the more you battle relegation, the harder it is for the fans to drag you through it. Yeah. So last season, you seen the fans like fucking Braveheart, right? They were up for it. This season, I'm noticing there's this. And Newcastle were there. We're as passionate as it gets, but at some point, watching shit football grinds you down. It doesn't matter how passionate you are.
Everton, who I always associate from when I was a child and when I played against them as being a tough place to go, uncompromising, aggressive. They're an easy touch. They're the easiest touch in the Premier League. If you're on a bad run, you want to play Everton.
No, but people understand the passion. What's what Everton fans here? People understand, having been to Goodison Park, you've been going for 30 odd years, I've been going for 25 years, played there. Look, we know how passionate Everton fans are. And to be fair, there'll be Everton fans who will feel let down by the fans who threatened or violence against the owners. So I don't think they demonise. I think that's a bit of a smokescreen, red herring, whatever you want to call it. For me, the bigger problem with the owners is the actual lack of football management.
When you go into a job, what's going to be the first reassurance or the first question you're going to ask of a potential new chairman, director of a football club, to know that it's the right next step for you in your career?
I'd go for the feel of a club. So usually, let's have it right, you know the feel of a club, maybe location, like Burnley, I went in there.
I would normally say I'm feeling very, very worried. You've got Calvert-Lewin, who hopefully is not going to be out long, but there is serious question marks over how long he can stay fit for. And obviously we've got Beto, who's just recently signed. That's Everton's attacking players in a nutshell there. And they're all out injured. And that's, and you look at why Everton aren't scoring goals, that is a reason. They're creating chances, they've just not got enough quality in the final third.
Not finished in the top 10 since 2018.
So are you saying that Everton aren't a big club anymore?
No, I'm not saying they're not a big club, but they're not massive. Like some people saying they're a huge, massive football club. They're massive are like United's, Arsenal's, Chelsea's, City's now.
Yeah.
These are massive football clubs.
Would it be a massive shock if they went down?
No, because they've been flirting with it for the last couple of seasons. I think when you keep flirting with it, people expect you at one stage, at some point, where they're going to go down.
Everton hit by new cash crisis. In a sentence, tell me where they're at financially.
I don't think it helps their case. They wanted to borrow 150 million quid on a convertible debt, turning it into equity. They've lost that opportunity. They've rerouted 100 million quid in it to fund the stadium, because the stadium has got to be funded. So they're 50 million pounds shy. We don't know when that convertible debt was going to be called in. I don't think it's ideal, but I don't think it's doomsday.
Okay, understood.
They lose next week. That's a problem.